You are now tuned in to the latest and the greatest. TP Way the Giant. It's your guy who was never lying. Sometimes defiant. See, I know and understand that you could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me. Let's go, let's go. Fee, 5, 4, 4. You know, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. It means we don't just talk like a giant, but we walk like a giant. You know, it's facts over feelings over here. This is where all the New York Giant soldiers congregate and have real conversations. Now let me make it clear. Viewer discretion is advised. The thoughts and opinions are not the thoughts and opinions of the New York Giants. Now before we kick this thing off, I need each and every one of you to make sure that you like this stream. And if you're new to this experience, especially if you are a New York Giant soldier, you gotta subscribe. 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 Come on, man. Now, grab your favorite snack. Grab your favorite drink. And if you smoke, we'll go ahead and smoke something from it. And we about to kick this thing off. One more major announcement that I cannot afford to let you sleep is that if you visit the description of this video, then go ahead and do yourself a favor and cop some merch. Official like a referee's whistle. That's how we give it up. Now without further ado, I said without further ado, let's get this shit started. Feet, 5, 4, 4. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Oh man, fuck y'all #1 draft pick. That's how they was on it today. Fuck y'all #1 draft pick, and I'm not mad at it. Y'all already know how I rock. I ain't tripping over it. I know some of y'all are devastated, but me personally, I ain't tripping over it. New York Football Giants 34, Las Vegas Raiders 10. Man, how about a Funk Flex bomb? How about a Funk Flex bomb? Hey, I'm not going to cry over a win, but I'm not going to sit here and act like this win was, you know, the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's not that, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here and complain about a win. I'm just not in me to do so. Frank White, I see you. I see you. New York Giants salute to Frank White in the building, says, Yerk.
Fee, 5, 4, fum.
Fee, 5, 4, fum, man, to be exact, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, Coach Ward, in the building. What up, Coach Ward? Saying what's good to the chat. Yeah. Let's talk about some things. I will be completely transparent with y'all. I was not super locked into this game. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I don't have any notes, so this is going to be a bunch of just chopping it up with y'all, a bunch of rambling, a bunch of just, you know, off the top for real. I don't have no notes. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go down the stat line and we're gonna just have this conversation, man. And y'all probably are gonna hear some things that y'all don't, you know, want to hear. But hey, we're gonna give it up, man. We're gonna give up the real. So Jackson Dart, man. Let's start here. Jackson Dart, what a good game, man. What a good game from Jackson Dart. Way to wash off the funk from these past couple of weeks to where everybody was playing on this man's name. Way to throw for 207 yards. He was 22 for 30, no interceptions. Had 2 sacks on the day. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 14 carries and had 62 yards, no touchdowns. But Jackson Dart had 2 rushing touchdowns. Easy money, by the way. Easy money, 9 carries, 48 yards. And shout out to Devin Singletary for doing his thing with 8 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Now, I have to give just a New York Giants salute. And to be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and do something that I haven't been able to do all year, because I only do a New York Giants Soldier of the Week if we win. So y'all haven't been able to really see this. Y'all seen it in the preseason games, but y'all haven't been able to see a lot of this, man. So without further ado,
ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
yes, man, Soldier of the Week goes to yours truly, Wan'Dale Robinson, man. Let's go.
V5 Fun.
Wan'Dale Robinson, congrats on the 1K. And see, this is one of the things, man. Again, I understand y'all not going to like to hear this. I get it. But we're going to really talk about it. This is one of the things that I actually wanted to happen. I wanted this, man. I wanted Wan'Dale to get his 1K on the year. I wanted Jackson Dart to wash some of the funk off from these last couple of weeks, quiet the noise a little bit. Y'all know my analogy. Let's go ahead and get a make before we walk off the court. Before we end this season, I don't want to end on a 33-yard game. Brian Burns adding on to his sack total. So these are the certain things that, yeah, I'm sorry. Be mad at me all you want. But this is what I wanted. Wan'Dale Robinson with 113 yards. 113 yards. Come on, he's going to be somebody that's going to be here. And the confidence that is built on having a year like Wan'Dale Robinson that has had, the confidence that is built, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. When we turn this shit around, shit like this that has happened is part of the building blocks. Darius Slayton, 2 receptions, 36 yards. Devin Singletary, 4 receptions, 25 yards. Now on the defensive side of things, man, Bobby Okereke with an NO. Bobby Okereke leading the team with 5 tackles, 2 assists. Dane Belton with another NO. I'm not going to cry over this shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Brian Burns with a sack and a half. Darius Alexander with another sack. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I mean? Frank White, I feel you. Coach Ward says, I just can't understand how anyone thought we would lose to a horrible and talent-depleted Raiders team. Plus, no athlete throws games. They want to win no matter what we think or how booty they look. That's what we said in the pregame live stream. You own it. You own it. I'm telling you, what a tank looks like comes from the coaches and above. When you have 14 runs in a row, like what we did versus the Vikings, that looked tankish. And we're going to speak about the other side of it. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging like that. I'm going to give y'all the real, but that's what tanking looked like. But you're not going to get it from the players unless the players is on some underlying, betting bullshit. But the players are going out there to play. They don't look at draft picks in the same way that fans look at draft picks. That's not how players are built. So I'm not tripping over that. I'm not tripping over it. Shout out to my guy, the Juke, says the Raiders are so bad, dog. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. They're bad. I ain't going to hold you. They are bad. Gary Hall says, you think we're going to pay Dale? We should. We should. Because as much as I want to get a receiver in the draft or, whether it's in free agency, the draft, whatever, I really want to get Tate. But as much as we need another receiver, I want to build on top of the good that we have. Let's not get it twisted, man. Like, there's some pieces on this team that you can build off of. I understand. We ass. I understand that this team is terrible. But we're not going to sit here and act like there aren't building blocks to be had, that there isn't talent on this team. So guys like a Wan'Dale Robinson, and then you also have to think about when Leak gets back. I mean, you want to build off of that. You don't want to take from. He's done enough, man. And he finally, I mean, this was the year where Wan'Dale was really able to show what he's really capable of, man, if you put him in a position to succeed. And if you go, if you want to go look at the stats, if you want to go by the eye test, whatever you want to do, you could take from the fact that Wan'Dale is one of the best slots in football. He's one of the best. You pay guys like that. You pay guys like that. David Hyde says, hopefully the Chiefs show up versus the Raiders and show the Raiders what a tank looks like next week. Hey, man. Hey, I mean, it could happen. It could happen. I just told y'all, man, I'm just not the type to root for a loss. I can't root for that shit. Like, if we would have lost today, I wouldn't have lost any sleep. Right? I'm not gonna come up here and be like, yay, we lost. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not built like that. And I get it. I'm not oblivious to the upside of getting the number one pick, but I also think it's overrated. I think it is, man. And I think that a lot of y'all have already stamped the fact and believe that you're going to get oh so much for the first round draft pick. That's not guaranteed. Nobody really talks about that side of things. That's not guaranteed. And you could still play chess and make moves. As like, if you're a top 5 pick, you're more than capable of making some things happen. So, again, this won't top priority for me. I'm sorry. Coach Ward says, Raiders front office definitely tanked. Bet they lost teams respect. Can you imagine what this does to a team, Coach Ward? Could you imagine what it does for them? Like, they clearly tanked. They clearly sat some guys who could have been big game changers in this. Like, we didn't have to deal with Bowers. Like, it was clearly a tank. But now look at where they are at. Look at what they have to overcome now. You think getting a few draft picks in one offseason is just gonna, okay, y'all believe in Santa if you want to. I just don't see it that way. They did what they had to do for them, man, but I just think we're in different positions, man. Pause. David Hyde says, as long as Joe and the entire front office, I have no hope, and the ownership of this team is horrible. Bingo. Everybody talking about these draft picks, and me, my focus is on this coaching. My focus is on these guys that is in a position of leadership. That's where my focus is on. Everyone talking about the number one draft pick, and we don't even have a true NFL head coach in the building right now. We don't have that. So excuse you me if I'm not just so caring about the number one draft pick when we have a quarterback, when we have Jameis Winston, and we don't have a head coach. Excuse you me. Now, I'm not oblivious to the fact that on the other side of things, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be also, I meant to tell y'all this in the beginning of the stream. For anybody that want to come chop it up with me, again, I don't have no notes, so this is really just us kicking it. It's us just having this conversation. I put the link in the chat for anybody that want to tune in. Anybody want to chop it up? Let's talk. But there is another side of me that looked at this game and that's like, God damn. Why we didn't coach this way last week? Why? Why we didn't give Jackson Dart the keys last week? Why I mean, and I get it, the Raiders team isn't a good team, right? But there's still certain things that is being done that makes you think like, okay, why wasn't this energy being had when you was getting punched in the fucking mouth? Why do you wait till you better than the team to show certain signs of things? I just don't respect that. I don't respect it. I've been telling my son, it's like remind me of something I told my son. My son, he liked to play fight, and he liked to, keep a certain energy when he's with his friends and shit like that. But then when he gets around his little brother, he wants to play big dog all the fucking time. So I had to check him like, yo, don't be doing this shit to your little brother. And then when you get around your friends, you ain't on this type of time. So like I look at it the same. Like, yeah, y'all clearly was better than this team today. They clearly lost some soldiers. And y'all on some big dog shit. But where the fuck was this when y'all was getting punched in the mouth and it was time to retaliate? Even Deontay Banks was getting some highlights out there. Deontay Banks returning shit to the crib. To his defense, he has looked decent in the kick return game, but still. I'm thinking like, where the fuck was this at? Especially versus the Vikings. We tucked our tail versus the Vikings. We didn't compete at all. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? But anyway, that's the New York Football Giants. So I get why people would be mad. Oh, I could get that. I get that wholeheartedly. Wayne Wavy says Texans got 3 first-rounders, and that changed their entire organization. All those picks could have changed the franchise. See, you're telling half of the story, but you're not telling the full wave of things. It wasn't just those 3 first-rounders. And can you think about how many years that the Texans have been continuously getting high draft value and continuously have been asked? Them, the Browns, etc. You got to bring in the right pieces. You got to bring in the right guys. You got to bring in the right coaches. It's a mixture of everything, man. It wasn't just those 3 first-rounders. That's telling half of the story right here, Wavy. These players are not going to be the game changers of this franchise. I don't know how we haven't learned that. It starts from the coach, and it trickles down. That's just the way it is, man. Super chat from Coach Ward, man. New York Giants salute to Coach Ward with a super chat. He says, watched all season. Gotta let Illuminor walk. Free agent guard is a must. Membo with a full offseason in weight room and technique. Work steps in. Now, this is the thing. First of all, I think it was funny, right? I think it's funny that Illuminor, the guy who, again, I'm just tired of Giants players on fucking Twitter. I'm tired of that shit. That shit has gotten old real quick. Because Illuminor was the one on Twitter talking about he was going to give his all. And I'm sorry, but he didn't look like the top right tackle that he talks about. He just didn't appear like that to me. But, again, what I want for this offensive line is to not just have a good front 5. I want an offensive line that has depth. I want an offensive line to where when one soldier falls down up front, we not dead in the water. And the one thing that I didn't want to happen, because Marcus Membo is somebody who I'm really, really, really becoming a fan of, and I'm enjoying his game. I didn't want us to get distracted by his good play to where we eliminated the importance of depth. So I think there is some conversation to be had when it comes to Illuminor. Now, if he is still on that top guard money and he's not willing to budge and he's not willing to work with us, Coach Ward, I'm with you. I just can't. I don't know if he's worth it. I don't know if he's worth that. I don't know if he's worth top right tackle money. So I'm just saying to myself, I don't want to eliminate a little bit of depth that we have at this moment in time. And part of this is PTSD because I know we've been here where this is the best the offensive line has looked at quite some time, and we know what's on the other side of things. So, yeah, that's that on that. And Coach Ward also said, shout out to Coach Ward with another $2 super chat. He says he will rob us because it's most opportune time. Great point. Great point. That's why I'm saying it's worth the conversation. It's worth the sit down. It's worth that. Because if he's talking like that, right? If he's trying to rob us, then we absolutely can't go for that. We absolutely can't go for that. So I'm with you. Shout out to Iman Perry says, now they want to play. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? The Giants are going to giant. The Giants are going to giant for sure, man. Maurice Lewis says, every game Jermaine jumps off sides. That was absolutely pissing me off. I would understand, rookies, doing that shit, but that was pissing me off with Jermaine. This the same guy, mind you. Let me pull it up. So y'all can understand, what exactly was said. This is the same guy that says this. This is the same guy that gets on Twitter and says, either way, you'll get my best Sunday. But that's disappointing when he's talking about not being able to face, what's his name? When he's not being able to face Max Crosby. So, again, all of this shit sounds good on Twitter, and people do this all the time. They get on Twitter, Darius Slayton, he does it. Like, y'all get on Twitter and y'all talk a good game. They sound good, but it don't translate onto the field. You talking about Max Crosby? If Max Crosby was in there, how many times he jumping off sides then? Shit. Speaking of Max Crosby, man, I seen this, man. This Max Crosby, before the game, hooping and basically letting the world know, like, look, man, I'm good. I was more than good to go for this game. Yeah, they had this man fucked up. He was pissed. And I know he was even more pissed watching what happened on the field today. That's how you indirectly let the world know, like, look, man, I don't know what this is an organizational move. I don't know what the fuck type of time they was on. I was ready to rock. I seen this before the game. Abdul Carter, he said he's strolling down the strip of Las Vegas and shit. I was nervous. I said, oh, shit, here we go. He back. But I got to show y'all this, too. And I'm going to get back to Giant shit, but I thought this was dope. This is Max Crosby giving us a little tour. He was doing all of this shit prior to the game. So here we go.
When we got the chance to design a basketball court for an NFL superstar, we knew it had to be epic. So here's the 60-second tour of the space. Look at this gallery wall with all of his favorite jerseys.
That's tough.
Over in the corner over there, we have these football mannequins where he can dress with whatever jerseys he wants at the time. Follow me over here because
my man
this
doing
mural
TikTok
is obviously
content.
the star of the show. We've got Max in the center and all of his icons surrounding. You guys, this was such a fun space to create.
It's tough.
We did this custom basketball wall over here so you could easily store the basketballs. See those slats on the ceiling and the LED lights? It just adds for the effect. Here's the bathroom. Again, we used an artist to create these custom murals for us. It had to be super masculine, super modern, and fit with the overall aesthetic of the arena. So that's a quick 60. When we got the chance to
Oh man, my boy Max was pissed. I know he was pissed. Wavy also says Ravens or Chargers will pay Illuminor whatever he wants. They're desperate for O-line help. Hey, it depends. They just might. Let's sit at the table. I just don't think when it comes to Illuminor, he deserves for you to just give it to him. Pause. Coach Ward says Jermaine gets bullied inside some runs when we got to have the yards. He isn't a dog in my eyes. He's a good player, but doesn't have the grit. And with that being said, if you are not a dog, you can fucking go. And that's the type of time that I'm on. We still a 3-win team. And I'm pissed at that fact. That, again, we are a 3-win team. So if you are not a dog, you can go. Because I'm counting on this new head coach to demand that the dogs stand in the front. And these guys that we know can be these dogs, you're here to stay. You're here to be a part of that building block. But those guys that, you've been cutting it for years, but you're not going to cut it for the future. You're either going to sit on the bench and get demoted, or you can go. That's the type of time that I'm on. Either you a dog or you not. I'm on the type of time where it's fuck talent. Fuck talent. Unless you just this Malik Neighborish type of talent, which Malik is a dog and he has talent. But unless your talent is out of this world, fuck talent. We're the dogs. Coach Ward says, Max, go home, bro. Next season, he'll be wearing some new colors. I was chopping it up, man. Y'all know the pregame live. I was chopping it up with my man Rundown. Dope Raiders content creator, man. He says Max is retiring in those colors. So, we'll see. I do hear his name in a lot of content creating conversations. You know, with the belief that he may be available next year. So we will see. Gary Hall says, I don't think it really matters what pick we end up with if we got Joe calling the shots. He always seems to find a way to screw things up. Gary, I'm with you, Gary. I'm with you. Oh, everybody, you can get so distracted by these draft picks, man. We've had that. We've had draft picks. I am focused on these guys that is in a position of leadership. That's where my main focus is on. So I'm sorry. I'm not crying over the fact that we won. Fuck it. Frank White says this could be a punishable offense for the Raiders. Lied about their injured players. It really was pathetic, man. And I wouldn't be shocked if a rule is to come out of this, man, after this season. Because I said this in the pregame. This was the most clear sign of tanking that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like this. This was the most clear sign. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a rule or something implemented in response to this. Skull State of Mind in the building, saying what's up to the chat. New York Giants salute, man, to my guy D Woods. Skull State of Mind, one of the dopest Minnesota Viking content creators. No stranger to this channel, man. He said, Dart looks solid today. And this is what we needed. And I'm glad D Woods said this, too. Because what I say, I needed him to wash off the funk from that Vikings game. See I get it. A lot of y'all probably look at it like, oh, the Raiders are just that trash. But, again, you see what happens when you let Dart cook, when you unlock that door and just let him get into his bag. He's able to do some things. Look at the receivers that he was throwing it to. Look at everything that was surrounding him. He was able to, allow him at this time to make plays with his legs. 2 rushing touchdowns on a day. I'll take it. That's my quarterback. Wavy also says, I think we were going to drop crazy. We at number 2. That's still great. Bro, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, like you'll drop down and get traded for more picks." You're at the number 2 spot right now. You're still able to do that. You're still able to do that. Like, what are we talking about here? People, look, this is not like back in the day. Like, that number 1 draft pick can be super duper overrated. And if you look at like the most recent years, the number 1 draft pick ain't always the person with the most talent. Isn't always the person that does the most for their team. Y'all miss me with that number 1 draft pick shit. That ain't gonna be the end all be all and the biggest solver to our problems. And I'm still standing on the fact that even with this roster that we have right now, same exact roster, I believe that if we had a coach that knew what the fuck he was doing, the coach that knew how to coach a team, I guarantee that we're better than a 3-win team. I guarantee it. So, I mean, miss me with that. Skull's State of Mind says QB development is horrible in the NFL. The league needs to be more patient and do better. And this is a fact. Which is why it pisses me off when every single time some shit doesn't go perfect, these bullshit ass conversations are brought up in the picture. I still stand by the fact, I don't care what y'all try to say, how much y'all try to make this shit make sense. I still stand by the fact that you even thinking about Mendoza when we have Jackson Dart, that shit is just dumb. It is just dumb. And this is exactly why. The league needs to be more patient and do better. I hear this. This is another one that I seen on Twitter. Ian Rappaport.
Giants could have the number 1 overall pick. Expect them to evaluate all options, including looking at Fernando Mendoza, before they make a decision on how they're going to proceed if they have this pick.
Now, there's one side of me that hears this, that hears Ian Rappaport on this and says, "Oh shit, we really about to beat us dumb. We really about to beat us dumb." But then there's also another side that says, well, why would you tell them if otherwise? If the league believes that there's a chance and that we're going to actually pick up Mendoza, then cool. We're not going to show you anything that's in our hand. So, yeah, we want y'all to continue to talk. We want y'all to continue to wonder what we're going to do. Cool. Coach Ward says, contrary to popular belief, Dante Moore might go before Mendoza, and we still the hot bitch on the block taking calls. Now, come on, man. I don't think people think it through. I don't think people think it through. I'm just waiting for Dante Moore to go ahead and declare that he's going into this draft, because then that really opens shit up. Then that really makes things just that much more interesting. Especially if you look at these teams, you know, that has these top picks. Hey, I don't know if y'all know, but a few of these teams are not looking for a quarterback. A few of those teams are not looking for a quarterback. There's some, I mean, again, well, in the offseason, I wish I had the time to really, you know, talk through this and have these mock drafts and things like that. But y'all know my situation, and it's just so much conversation to be had, man. So many different scenarios. And everybody talks like they know exactly what is going to happen in the draft, and they don't. They don't. Frank White says, we was able to do that all the way back to 10. I just didn't understand some of these Giant fans going crazy over this pick. We have a quarterback already. We need a head coach and staff. Fact, I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Man Cave, shout out to the Man Cave, man. New York Giants, salute to my guy, the Man Cave in the building. He says, salute TP Soldier up. Don't know why the NFL don't go to the NBA mode of going to a lottery system to see who picks first if you miss the playoffs to avoid tanking. Ooh. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. I could see this happening, and I like this. I could see this happening, and I like this. This would be dope. This would be dope. This is how you definitely avoid that tanking shit. This would be a great answer for that. I like that idea. And that would be, yeah, that would just add to the interest factor, you know, of the off season and what's to come. Can y'all imagine like huddled up having a stream where we just, you know, watching the whole lottery system shit go down? Like, come on, man. I'm with that. I'm with that. Hey, Man Cave, go ahead and set up the waiver, man, so I can sign it. Let's push that. Wayne Wavy says, there's so many rumors on who will be our new coach. I have no idea at this point. Watch it be super left field, and I fear that, Wavy. I ain't going to hold you. I fear that. I feel like we're going to do some real underwhelming shit. I just feel that shit. Pause. Morgan Freeman right now, he's at the top of my list, per se. There's a couple of other guys, you know, that I wouldn't be mad at. But why do I feel like we're going to do some underwhelming shit, like get a Mike McCarthy or something like that? Why do I just feel like that's going to be the case? Coach Ward says, TP, most of these commentators and content creators are lazy. Roll with the narrative without watching the all 22. Oh, my God. If that's not a fact, that's 100% a fact. Most of these dudes, they either just watch the highlights and then come on here and talk like they know every fucking thing. Or they'll just look at some stats and think that they know every fucking thing. And I always say, unless you have watched the all 22, you're not watching film. You're not watching film. And unless you watch the all 22, you don't really know what is really going on. You don't really know what is really going on. And even then, you still don't even know what is being said in these coaching meetings and behind the scenes. But that's a fact. That's a fact. You got to tune in to the all 22 if you're trying to understand the full picture of it. Like, you got to. The Man Cave also says, I think fans want the number one pick to get a haul for the pick, not so much picking a player. You can get a haul for the number one and the number two pick if Mendoza and Dante Moore come out. But this is the thing. I get that. But I don't understand why people just believe that you only have to be at the number one pick to get a haul. I also don't understand why people believe that it is guaranteed that you're going to get a haul if you're the number one pick. I also don't understand why people don't believe that if you are the number two pick, that you can't get a haul. Or the number three pick, or the number, like, whatever it is. Like, I don't understand this. We've seen it done. We've seen it done. You put in a GM who can, you know, play chess and do the right thing, then you're not really as worried. You're not really as worried. Come in, what up? Yeah. Come say what up to the chat. Come say what up. Since y'all blocking in. Say what up.
What up?
What you thought? What is that? All right. Peace out. My boys, man. My boys. Gary says, who would you like to draft with the number 2 pick? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't tell you. I always have an answer, and then every time I have an answer, it changes. It changes. Because I always be thinking like on one breath, man, I want to go ahead, get Malik some help. I want to go ahead and get him some wide receiver help, because I think this wide receiver room is desperate for some more talent. I'm done with the Darius Slayton thing. You know, if we're not letting him go, he definitely needs to be demoted. So I'm looking at Carnell Tate. But then on the same side of things, man, I'm looking on that defensive side, and I'm like, oh man, if we could just add to what we already have defensively If we could focus on this defensive side more than anything, focus on putting somebody in place that could help us stop this run. What's my guy from Clemson? Woods. If we could get someone like him, it's like I can't really tell you definitively where I'm at because it changes so much. I'm not mad at either one. I just don't know right now which one I believe is the right direction to go. Offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. I don't know. Frank White says, Coach Ward says he's like the lottery situation. Frank White says, yo, we get McCarthy, I'm going to crash the fuck out. I feel you. Maya Claire says number 1 and number 2 are good choices to get a haul in this draft with Mendoza and Moore are the only good top QBs. So more teams are trying to trade up for fewer players. Thanks for helping my Raiders tank. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we're still at number 2, right? We're still at the number 2 spot. So I mean, I'm not tripping. And again, my priority from everybody else's priorities are different. Like, for example, we had this conversation in the pregame live stream with my guy Rundown. The Raiders are in a different situation than us. The Raiders, to me, have more of a reason to tank than we do. Point blank, period. They have more of a reason. The Raiders, more than likely, are not trying to get a haul for shit. They're trying to get a quarterback. They are trying to get a quarterback. I have my quarterback. I have my quarterback. So I'm good on that. I'm good on that. And does a haul, yeah, does it sound good, right? Does more talent sound good? Yes. There's no arguing that. But I'm looking to find the fucking answer. I'm not looking to put glue on a situation. I'm looking to find the answer. I want to repair this situation. And the answer is in these positions of leadership. The answer is in his positions of leadership. And so, again, we got the number 2 pick, man. So I just look, man. I don't see it the way y'all see it. Money Mike says, boy, if Jeremiah Smith was coming out this year, oh my God, we would be so ham. Yeah. Jeremiah Smith is nasty. But I tell you one thing, man. One of these things, I'm not interested in these smaller receivers. I'm not. Like these smaller frame receivers, I'm not interested in them. McFadden says Dookie Bowl has been won. Congratulations. I can't even argue with you on that because it most definitely was that. I prefer Toilet Bowl. I like that sound better, but hey. Shout out to my mother, man. This is my mother in the chat. She says, Eagles won. Mother, I don't understand what the point of that was. We don't care about the Eagles over here. Wavy says, look, can't believe I'm goofy. I'm sorry. You're going to have to type that again, bro. Wavy says, oh, I shouldn't be happy right now. I am. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Frank says, I need to see who our head coach will be and the staff he puts up around him before I can make a decision on picks and free agents because scheme is important. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Steven says, Makai Lemon. Yeah, is a dog. Makai Lemon is smaller, but he is a dog. That's a fact. That's a fact. He is a dog. He is a dog. Shout out to my Dukes in the chat. McFadden says, what's up, Mother TP? We trying to get him to be a Vikings fan. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that's that on that, man. That's that on that. Next week is Dallas. Next week is Dallas. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, okay, this next game we must lose. This next game, I'm sorry to be the one to pop the balloon, but I don't think we have a choice. I don't think we have a choice. I think it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. I hope we enjoyed today. I hope we had fun, but I think it's over with. I don't think even if we wanted to beat Dallas, I don't believe that for us to be true. I don't. So, I mean, hey. I don't think there has to be, that much of a conversation when it comes to the whole tanking and stuff, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. Divisional game that it's hard to get hyped for. It's going to be at MetLife. But, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I will say, if I'm just being transparent, I'm not shedding tears about the fact that we won today. I'm not. My biggest thing is just, where the fuck was this versus the Vikings? I just don't understand it. Now, listen, if you tuned in, man, please make sure that you like this stream. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and make sure that you subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe, man, especially if you are a New York Giant fan. Go ahead and rock with me now, man, because there will be a time when the tables will turn. And I can't wait. I can't wait to rock out with y'all because I know what's going to come, man. I know what's going to come. I'm going to be pushing out a couple of things, man, that I want to discuss throughout the week. Y'all stay tuned for that. New York Giants salute to each and every one of you, man, that is tuned in, that is rocking with me. And before I get up out of here, man, I do want to do some Twitter searching real quick. Just to see what's the conversation piece on Twitter. Let me see. I wanna highlight this Raider fan too, man. I wanna highlight this Raider fan, and this is why you gotta love Twitter. So this is Jake Bauer, I'm guessing, LV. He says, imagine knowing so little about football that you equate Andrew Thomas, who has never made the NY Giants better, to Max Crosby, the ultimate difference maker. If Giant fans are rooting for Dart to lose, they're dumber than they appear. Dart needs to show that he can beat someone. This is what happens on Twitter, and this is why I advise people to just stay away from this app, because there's a bunch of people who don't know shit that talk like they know everything in the world. Let's start with the first half of this sentence. Imagine knowing so little about football. Isn't that funny how someone starts off a status with imagine knowing so little about football when they know so little about football? But he's saying this so bold and so proud and so confidently, right? And then he continues to say that Andrew Thomas has never made the NY Giants better. Andrew Thomas, the guy who literally, when he is out, shit changes. That Andrew Thomas? The Andrew Thomas to when he's plugged in. There is life. There is life. And then he says this. This was the cherry on top. He then says, Dart needs to show he can beat someone. Someone. So the Eagles are just nobodies at this point. They just nobodies. As much as I look, I don't think there's many people who hate the Eagles as much as I do. But that's a playoff team. That's a winner of a division. And then the Chargers are another playoff team. And last time that I checked, I think Dart was the quarterback in those 2 games. This is the type of stuff that happens on Twitter, man. That's why I advise for everybody, if y'all just want to keep sanity, just stay off of Twitter. Just stay off of Twitter. Because this is what happens, y'all. This is what happens. The Giants report says, man, this was tough to watch. Yeah, I don't like seeing stuff like that. And I'm not even gonna play it because I hate it. Deontay Banks. Let's see. This is Deontay Banks posted this on IG. Drug testing. I guess this is a drug testing. Hey, shit, I ain't mad at the NFL. I ain't mad at the NFL. I said the same thing watching you today. I said the same thing. Oh, he should be drug tested. So, hey, NFL, way to be on it. Oh, man. Do y'all really care to even hear what Mike Kafka has to say? I don't personally, but I'll do it for y'all, I guess. I really don't care. It's Mike Kafka.
And really all 3 phases stepped up. You know, you saw plays on offense, guys like Wandell stepping up and having a great day for us when we needed them most. Huge third down conversions, big plays across the field. Our offensive line blocked their tail off in the run game and in the pass game. Really, really proud of how Jackson rebounded from the last couple weeks in terms of stepping up. It's not easy to win this league, and for him to step up like that, like he did, not only throwing the ball but running the football as well. Really proud of our defense. I think held him at 63 rushing yards versus that back, who's an explosive player. Did a great job in the run game. They had 2 turnovers, which were huge, with Bobby Okereke and Dane Belton having 2 picks. So really proud of our defense for stepping up. Had a couple critical, even down the line. Then special teams wise, I thought they played with their hair on fire. And Tay Banks had a great play right there to kind of put it away and really make a stamp on himself. And for him to learn a new position in the offseason, we asked him to do something that he really wasn't comfortable with to start and just kept on getting better and better and better. And, you could see it in practice. You can see his practice habits and how he was working, that something like that would happen. And for him to have a 95-yard touchdown return, just really cool for the kid to see that success.
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that from Kafka. Because, again, the question still remains, Kafka, if you're saying all of this and you believe in all of this, then where was this last week? It's fucking pathetic, man. Pathetic. But let's I mean, we don't really do this often, so let's show a highlight from Deontay Banks. Hey.
And Banks will take it at about the 5 for the Giants. Finds a gap, has some room, being chased. He's being chased by Carlson. He'll take it all the way. That is a touchdown. 95-yard kickoff return touchdown.
Now, I will say this. About Deontay Banks. If you really look at him, at what he's looked like in a kick return game, like he looks like he belongs back there. He looked like he can do something back there. So, and pause, that was crazy. So, I mean, if we would have bring Deontay Banks as a kick returner, I wouldn't be mad at that. But kick returner only. Let's understand that. Kick returner only. This was another thing. Oh, I'm glad I seen
and
this.
They start getting into it. After the catch, now there's contact over here between a coach and Jamal Adams. But now watch, Jameis Winston comes in.
Yeah, Jameis.
And they start getting into it.
Yeah, Jameis.
And then all of a sudden you have to get the separation. Now the officials come into it.
Yeah,
so
Jameis.
I'm not sure what
Yeah,
the coach of the
Jameis.
Giants was saying to Jamal Adams.
Yeah,
but then Winston
Jameis.
decides to take it a step further.
See what happens
going on in this game.
when you see what happens when you whoop a little ass. See, look, this is my thing, man. This is my point to it all. My point is this. Did anybody notice that there was just a little more edginess coming from the Giants than you've seen them? There was this moment right here. There was the moment where on I guess on a punt return. Dude sent him to the Gatorade cooler. And then you got Drew Phillips in there, roughing him up a little bit. Like, did we notice that? Y'all see the things that happens when you get a little bit just confidence built. No, I get it. Too late. I'm with y'all on that. It's not hip hooray type thing, but these are the certain things that ends up happening. And Jameis is my guy, man. Jameis is my guy. What else we got? Let me see. I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I wanna look at the current draft order, man, so we understand. This is the play I was talking about right here.
He's that's the guy I was watching. I was like, he didn't stop this. Moments ago.
All right.
Everybody.
Here we go. Let me oh, I forgot. I wasn't even mirroring it. My fault, y'all. My fault. Let me look up the draft order real quick so we understand what's going on. Current NFL draft order 2026. All right, let me see. Let me see. Has anybody updated that just yet? No, that's not current. See if I can get a current joint. Let me see. All right, this is shout out to the Big Blue View. Shout out to the Big Blue View from here. According to the Big Blue View, it says the New York Giants hold the second overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft after beating the Las Vegas Raiders 34-10 on Sunday. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Let me pull it up so y'all can see what I'm reading here. Let me pull it up. The Giants would have secured the first overall pick with a loss, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It says the Browns win also potentially locks the Giants into the second overall pick with a loss next week against the Cowboys. That will leave Giants fans watching underclassmen declarations keenly, as a big trade could still be possible. That, of course, would require either Oregon quarterback Dante Moore or Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson declare for the draft. The other good news for the Giants is that the first overall pick is still on the table. It is still on the table. The Giants can still come out the 2025 season with the first overall pick if we lose to the Dallas Cowboys, provided the Raiders also beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That may be unlikely as Raiders quarterback Geno Smith circled an ankle injury against the Giants, and the Raiders will likely start Kenny Pickett against the Chiefs. So the updated NFL draft order before Week 18 is the Vegas Raiders, at 1. Our beloved New York Football Giants at 2. The Jets at 3. Titans 4. Cardinals 5. Browns 6. Commanders 7. Saints 8. Chiefs 9. Bengals 10. So, who needs a quarterback? Vegas needs a quarterback. They're at 1. The Jets need a quarterback. They're at 3. The Cardinals not looking for a quarterback, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would. I don't see them doing it at 1 for sure, though. So, whatever. I'm not even thinking to that. The Browns, you never know with the Browns. The way they clearly are just killing my man Shador over there. You just never know what they're gonna do. Commanders not looking for a quarterback. Saints not looking for a quarterback. Chiefs, Bengals, as it stands right now, Joe Burrow's still there. Neither one of those teams are looking for a quarterback. So again, I mean, it's still the possibilities. It's still the implications of us being able to get that haul that we want oh so much. That's still possible. It's still possible. But I'm not crying. Here goes my guy H-Town, who I know who wanted us to definitely lose. H-Town says, Giants MO to win when it doesn't matter and waste the opportunity for a king's ransom to better the team. The clown show continues. Hey, I'm not complaining about a win. I'm not going to cry about a win. And the term king's ransom gets to me. I know that's a term that's being used quite often in these conversations, but the term king's ransom gets to me. Because I still stand in the fact that what exactly is this king's ransom? What exactly is this king's ransom? Are we y'all act like we guarantee this king's ransom? I don't know. Maybe y'all know something that I don't know. I don't know. H-Town says the draft order doesn't mean shit anymore. Giants had prime opportunity to get a king's ransom. It's over. Another waste of opportunity. Bro, no, it's not. No, it is not. It's absolutely not. And H-Town, please explain to me what king's ransom are you? Because you talking about this king's ransom, and we don't know what teams are willing to give up. We really don't know. So I want to know what this king ransom that you're guaranteed that's going to happen if you were to have the number 1 pick. I really would like to know. I really would before I get up out of here. King's ransom, more draft capital, a couple first-round picks for sure, and other draft capital, maybe even play. That's not for sure. What are we talking about? That's not for sure. And that other draft capital, these are not facts. These are not facts. More draft capital, yes. More draft capital, yes. But these other things are not guaranteed. We don't know how these teams are viewing these situations. We don't. Dora Gunner says, needs someone to trade up. So, again, maybe I have the inside scoop of something that I may not be privy to. Maybe y'all understand something that I don't. So I'll just leave it there. I will leave it there. But again, listen, man, New York Giants salute to each and every one of y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with me. And look, please make sure that y'all like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I will holla at y'all, man. And until I holla at y'all, fee-fi, fo fum.
Fee-fi, fo fum.
Peace, y'all.
If I don't do nothing, I'ma ball and provide. Wifey said the only side piece she support is the piece on my side. Yeah. Everything gonna be fine. Rooting for her while she battling a bag for my time. They say Virginia's for lovers, yeah, they lovers of crime. It's hate here like lovers of crime.